Bro, this episode left me dead, man. I mean, this show's amazing, don't get me wrong, but when they really went into the YouTuber, psyche of, one, when YouTube removed monetization if you didn't have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time per month or something in that area. But that stuff's all well and good, but it's when they became the hot girl uncle where they're basically it's almost like a parody of virtual avatars, especially with the rise of VTubers. The whole idea that Uncle became hot for views, even if it was initially just so he could connect with potentially his nephew's future wife as he's kind of looking at it. The idea that Takafumi immediately milked him for views, and he knew damn well that he didn't need to show the game, he didn't need to show anything other than the hot girl avatar. And they broke 200,000 views within a couple of hours, it seems like. That is without a doubt internet culture in modern times. Even, well before the complete rise of VTubers, just the whole idea of just... you don't need to show too much. Hell, most OnlyFans that are out there, they don't even show nudity. It's literally safe for work content, but they make the mad bank because people will pay for it. And I have to say, this is without doubt the best of the 3 episodes. But this shit left me rolling because rather than just being a show kind of taking the piss on so many different things, whether it's isekai, whether it's YouTube, whether it's all these different things, it actually feels pretty knowledgeable about someone who knows what they're talking about. The isekai stuff's pretty self-explanatory to any anime fan who's seen at least a dozen shows in the genre. But I think an episode like this, it's very easy to just assume what they're saying is kind of correct about YouTube. But as someone who does the YouTube videos and has been around the block for many years, this shit knows what it's saying. It's very interesting. The one thing you can kind of argue is how much money they were actually making prior to basically that massive jump. It is possible, but granted, the idea of when YouTube implemented the if you want to be monetized, you have to have so many hours of watch time plus a certain number of subscribers. You weren't making any money if you didn't have that threshold already, because it really does come from watch time and everything like that. But ultimately, it is something that it does remove the ability, because, what if a small creator went viral? Then obviously they wouldn't make any money until after they got to that threshold, and then hopefully another video got viral. So it's interesting to see how, this little bit of, comfort money that he was making got ripped away from him in the blink of an eye. And if that isn't being a YouTuber, then I don't know what is. The whole idea that within a moment's notice some dumb decision can be made. And it's not to say that decisions have gotten better over time as much as the internet likes to cry about it. There is much better YouTube support than there was when I first started back in goddamn 2016. So it is one of those things where you gotta take the good with the bad, but to see how they made fun of it in this episode, it was absolutely top tier. But it is the hot uncle. I assumed the person that we saw was just gonna be the person from the other world. I wasn't expecting him to turn into a hot aunt, just the whole idea that this girl, I feel for her, man. She just wants to be with someone that she has all these fond memories with about her original childhood sweetheart. Turns out that memory is a lot of bullshit. It's very much some disgusting uncle-looking imagery and just punching and berating, but holy shit, just to see how, a magic thing in the sky, oh, that's a hologram from a flip phone. Of course it is. She's going from, why was there an ugly-ass uncle to a hot aunt, and what is going on? What am I seeing? You know what? I'm probably just on drugs. We're going to accept it. The whole idea that they are potentially going to use this form to milk views is one of the most perfect thing ever, and I don't think there's a single YouTuber on the platform who, if they didn't have a magical ability that could let them shapeshift like this, that they wouldn't do the same thing, because goddamn, it's kind of genius. The whole idea of a man who just wants to show the beauty of Sega games, I guess I heard that is actually sponsored by Sega, which goes to show why there is so much focus on it, despite it just being hilarious to begin with. It makes a lot of sense if it is sponsored. But the idea that the nephew, Takafumi, immediately knew that he didn't need to show shit, so just the crushing realization that the internet sucks and the crushing realization that you can milk fools for all they're worth is hilarious. If they make an OnlyFans joke in this, that is the only way that they can get better. And if they make the OnlyFans joke, please make it so he doesn't do nudity, but just has like a little bit of the shoulder shown, because that's like what 99% of them even do, and it's absolutely hilarious. But this episode wasn't just hilarious with the YouTube stuff and the, the virtual hot girl avatar stuff. It also did a good job showing us more about the world, and I love the idea that it's almost like an anime for Takafumi, because essentially his uncle's life is literally the dream for most people. Transported to a fantasy world, he should be able to make the best of it. There's this hot elf girl who constantly is showing signs of interest, and this bitch ass is literally running away in the night, so he won't have to, give her something in return in the future. The skepticism in this man is hilarious. But when it got to the Attack on Titan reference, that's where, I really knew we were in for a special episode. The dude destroys a magical barrier just to see if it would happen, launching literally titans that are about to destroy the wall, attack on Cyclops basically. And as they're building up to this Super Saiyan kind of hero moment in any other shonen type show, badass energy sword, like she basically has Guts' greatsword if it was like made of plasma energy. It was badass. I was actually waiting for her to cut off a head, and the dude repairs the barrier and she smacks face and probably breaks every bone in her body given the force and the impact. The show has no problem taking the piss on so many things, whether it's dramatic big first episodes where the world's about to be destroyed, what it's like being a YouTuber, just the idea that you can point a camera at a hot body and milk views for all they're worth. You don't need skill in the slightest, just sit there and look pretty. Like, just what they're able to do with this show while simultaneously telling this pretty wholesome, if not slightly disturbing nephew-uncle story about just wanting to have the best life possible in kind of a shitty situation. The show is 10 out of 10, man. And I mean, if you watched my video last week talking about the first couple of episodes, I said that this is probably comedy of the season, and it's something that connected with me. I liked it, knowing a lot about Isekai in general. There's a lot of funny things that breaks away from that and really just makes it feel like a fun, refreshing take. But the heart and soul of this show is really how it uses comedy, not just parroting isekai or, just constantly showing us kind of Sega commercials, it feels like. It's more so about how they go about directing this over-the-top, almost hero story, where it's basically being presented as an anime to them as they're watching on their screen, but simultaneously building up this almost like slice of life, YouTuber, day in the life, romance, will they, won't they story, and where this crazy-ass family will go from here. This show is absolutely spot on. It connects with me on a comedic level. It's everything that I want, but it's the faces, man, that really leave me rolling. There's like just these moments where they go from like ugly bastard to over-the-top reaction to just holy shit, they are going to die of a heart attack. I mean, just look at the final moments in this episode. This poor girl was about to jump out of her own skin. This show has such fun both on its visual side, but also the voice actors are selling it completely. The reactions that they're giving feel genuine for the characters that they're playing, but I can't help but think that the people who are recording the lines for these characters, they have to be laughing their asses off in between takes, because this is comedy gold. It absolutely is. Love looking at it, love listening to it, and I also love just seeing what this dude's life was before he came back to his original world, because it literally is a normal isekai story. But if the main character noped out of every situation or accidentally caused a giant-ass catastrophe while just simultaneously being called an orc because he's ugly as shit in this world, it's just, this show's 10 out of 10, man. I'm loving it. Can't wait to talk about next episode. So thoughts down below, favorite moment, whatever you're feeling, do let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed and be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.